Well, long story short, I had to start all over with all of my videos. If you've never been on my channel, welcome. This is all new. Long story short, somebody got on my account and deleted all of my videos in the past. So we have to start over from scratch, and I'm not very happy. But for those of you who don't know what's going on, is the day that this little lovely 1985 Chevy Chevette will ever see this motor again. Today I am fully removing the 1.6 liter, so that way we can advance into the future with our K24A2 and our lovely, beautiful GM Powerglide. Now, I'm not going to document every moment, every instant. I'm going to try to dive into this thing as quick as I can and get as much removed as I can. There is a gentleman who will be taking this engine and transmission with him for his vehicle. I am a very nice person, and I'm giving it to him for free. Most of a little bit of the assembly process, I'm trying to get rid of all the electrical wiring here. Let me zoom out. Get rid of all the wiring and hook it up out of the way. And then from there, start working on the accessory drive stuff and all the little things getting in the way. Probably not going to drain the oil or the transmission out. The transmission will drain itself when I start pulling it. Obviously, I'm going to get the coolant drained out. There shouldn't be anything but water in there, to be honest. But yeah, I will check back in with you when I have some progress or if I break something. Because, that's bound to happen. I did my adapter plate from Bill back, so that way I can give it that little 15 degree lean or whatever it has. It can bolt to my Circle D converter. So yeah, I will pick back up here in a few seconds. So I fucked up. I forgot to record some aftermath here. So Chevette disassembly has actually gone really well, with one exception. Everything's out. I got the exhaust out. I got the transmission pretty much unbolted from the cross member. I have one bolt on each side of the cross member holding it in. Obviously, you can see visually like what all's missing. It's all in that box, with the exception of my grill. I'll be keeping that, and maybe my drive shaft. I haven't decided. But anyways, so all of it's gone. It's out. Couple problems. One, this whole core support is spot welded to the body, so you can't pull it off. We completely disassembled the whole front end just to find that out. So I put it all back together because there's no point. I did think about, like, from about here, the edge right here and here, just hacking that whole section out, and then just obviously rip the AC condenser out, and then just pull the engine straight forward. Obviously, I could keep the bumper off in doing it, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. But one of the other issues that I ran into is, unfortunately, that little sucker, when it's on all four wheels, sits way too low for this engine hoist. Now, I'm going to take these 4x6s, 2x6s, sorry. I don't know, I can't math today. It's a Saturday. But these 2x6s, I'm going to cut them in half, and I'm going to do two boards in the front and see how that works. I might just do the two boards in the front and kind of just get the front end off of the ground just enough that I can slide the engine hoist under it. So that way, hopefully, we can get his engine out. And then, obviously, the hood will have to come off, My biggest goal is I want to retain as much of this car as I can in terms of factory stuff. I know two of my biggest issues is the heat and AC system, especially with the way the box sits. And the other issues is because I've decided now I'm going to give the Chevette that little tilt, that I'm unfortunately probably going to end up getting rid of the heater box and the AC system altogether, which really sucks. I wanted to keep AC and heat in this thing, but I just don't think that that's going to be doable with how the stock setup is. I might have to get like some kind of aftermarket stuff, which not really my cup of tea. I'd love to keep like as much of this car as original as I can. I think that, yeah, it just wasn't in the cards in terms of trying to, make this thing as much as a sleeper as I can, aside from having like wheels and tires. But anyway, so yeah, that's one of my biggest, the way the heater box sits, because how it kind of protrudes this way, and the engine's gonna sit like this. It's just gonna smash into that. Try and toss up a picture in here in the video of what like the Chevette looks like that I'm actually that got me into all this. That was like my muse, if you will. So yeah, gonna try and throw that up here, right here. It's really cool. It's a guy named Green. His Instagram is like Gringo Motorsports. He's down in South America somewhere. And I talked to him a little bit, and everything he did was completely one-off. Like, he made his own oil pan, he made his own bell housing for the Toyota 5-speed that he bolted to it. I mean, everything he did was completely one-off. So to copy him is going to be physically hard in terms of everything. So that's why I've been doing what. All right, well, we've picked back up on this. The bumper has been removed, unfortunately, again. The engine is actually up in the air. It's being held up by the engine hoist here. I do have the 2 transmission crossmember bolts to undo. Once I do that, this whole thing just go like that. Hopefully, I can get it out with without too much effort. It looks like I'm probably just gonna struggle. One of the shitty parts is, or crappy parts, sorry, is I did try to remove this, but the bolts are on there so tight that even with the belts on there and all that tension, it was still rotating the fan. So I don't know. Yeah, this is quite the conundrum. But you know what? We will persevere. We will prevail. Worst case is, well, I gotta get rid of the AC condenser next. It's still attached by the hose down there. But once that whole thing can come out, give me like that much room. You know, there we go. It's aligned. That much room. Worst case, very, very worst case is, like I said, I can cut it and then just take that section out and then just weld it back in whenever I put the K-Series back in. But I think the bad part about that will be if for some reason this has to come out, that will be that will cause a problem. So not quite sure what I'm gonna do, but at the end of the day, it's gonna get done. I just gotta make this happen, you know. So, anyways, you know the drill. Next time you see this motor, it will be on the ground, and hopefully not leaking all over the place. Well, after taking a lunch break because I was feeling peckish, it's finally out. The whole ass thing. You know what the shitty part about all this is? Is the engine hoist here gave out. It won't lift anymore. I lowered it to, you know, get a good center of gravity so it's not flailing around like a wrecking ball. And as soon as I lowered it down, it just kept going, and now it won't come back up. This is pretty cool, not gonna lie. That's sarcasm if you didn't know that. But on the bright note, the engine and transmission is out. I have contacted the new owner and waiting to hear back from him so when he'll be here. As of right now, this is a conundrum and I'm not too excited about it. But you know what? We'll cross that bridge when we get there. So yeah, part 1 is done. The engine removal. Next thing you know, I'm gonna clean all this up, make sure the wiring's good, and you know, obviously if you look over right now, looks like it caught fire, maybe, or just really bad and road grimy-ish. Heart is a rat's nest that is forever going to take a while to unfuck. Aside from the horn and the lights and maybe the starter stuff, I don't really need much else, so have to really just leave that be. But again, we're gonna have to revisit this once we test fit the engine down in here. Again, I think I'm just gonna get my pressure washer, put some soap and stuff in there, and clean all of this up right here and get it all nice and spippy so we can weld on some new mounts and you know, get rid of this, clean everything up, probably spray the bay with some nice fresh paint, depending on how clean this is. I mean, there's, you know, some surface rust over here and over there, But for the most part, it's pretty good. I mean, a good scrubbing and a good spraying will really do this thing quite a bit of wonders under the hood. So, with that being said, I know this is not going to be, you know, I wish we could just cram all this into one video, but truthfully, it's not going to be like that. So, anyways, I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching me struggle to pull this horrible, horrendous, disgusting piece of history out of this car. It's really not history, it's more of a mystery, and the mystery is, why did GM even make this transmission? Because it's a shitty ass transmission. 400 in it, or a 350, or a 700 R4. I mean, regardless, I think it would have been okay. But anyways, y'all take care. Thank you for watching. Peace. Peace.